Should be. What up, Mike? What up, Paul? What up, GTA? Good to see you. Sin of the day, Paris Corner, Refak Adorn, Woody your YSL. Of course it is. Good to see you, Joel. Always. Just go like right there. Bam. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, y'all, make sure when y'all get in here right away, you get those likes out of the way. Hit the like button, run it up, make sure these trolls don't get in early. I don't see them likes going up. 3 buttons right here or right here, and then hit the like button. Run them up so we don't get them trolls. I'm warning you now. What up, Kicks? Thoughts on that expensive MFK? Which one? Run them likes up, guys. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna see them trolls You're gonna see them trolls flood in. What y'all sent of the day, man? I want to know what y'all are wearing. Flood that chat. No, not running whatnot tonight. No. I realized that when you create an inventory on Whatnot, it deletes after your show. So like a lot of the stuff I put in before to prepare for the show is not in my inventory. So I have to make a permanent inventory. So I need to load up a couple more fragrances. Because even though I'm mostly doing those for Q&A, Whatnot still wants to see, wants it to look like you're selling. So I at least have to have stuff listed to be able to, to be able to appear like I'm, on Whatnot to sell. But yeah, coming soon. Sorry couldn't be in the chat and you're live. I was more busy. Hey, listen, Joel, you never have to apologize to me, ever. Anything you've ever done for me is enough. You've been very gracious. When you're here, I'm happy. When you're not, we can't wait to see you next, man. We're glad you're here. I think there's like a $28,000 MFK. No clue. I've never heard of a $28,000 MFK. What do you think is the best cologne? Anything on my shelf. Scent of the day, Bugatti Amber. Beautiful scent. Coming soon, coming soon. PDM Galloway. Love it. Absolutely love it. What up, Russ? I never heard of that scent, Nelly. I never heard of that scent. What's it smell like? By the way, good to see y'all. Hey, run the Q&A up today, man. I'm here. I might not be here long. I'm only here as long as the questions are here. So hit me with your barrage of fragrance questions. My scent of the day was... what was my scent of the day? Scent of the day for me was Gary's Den. The best DHP 2025. Well, not 2025. The best Dior Homme Parfum. The best. Amazing. If you guys haven't noticed, I swapped the clone section out with the vintage. So now it goes niche, designer, vintage, clone, women's, and then sealed vintage. My surge can go up on the top. I gotta sort this a little bit better. What up, Brian? What up? What's poppin'? Where you been, man? When you gonna get on that collab, bro? I ain't got that call since I hit you, bro. So let's get busy. Let's see what we got. What's the orange one next to the police skull? This one? This isn't, I mean, it's more just like an amber. This is Mario Valentino's Echo. So now we got the vintage shelf. Homage Royal Tobacco declined. Do you have imagination? I will never pay retail for imagination. But yes, I do have imagination. Right here. Sahib Intense. It's all you could ever need. Let's say you wear Sahib Intense and you're like, oh, it only goes 6-7 hours. Then I'm going to hit them with this. You see that? I'm going to put that in the base. You put that in the base, it'll have a smile on your face. You guys can't really see the oils. Hold up. Oh man, that is one crazy forehead, right? Okay, so niche, designer, vintage, designer, and then the clones. But right here, can I lower the camera for y'all real quick? There we go. If you look right here, I've got the base DNA of just about everything in my collection. Imagination, Oud for Greatness, 1 Million Parfum, Eros, Baccarat, Invictus, Bulgari Man, Lafayette Street, Layton, Greenwich Village, and YSL Loam. So anytime, if performance is ever an issue, ever, then we just gonna hit the body with an oil or the lotions. Y'all know we stay with the lotion. So in 2025, longevity will never be a consideration for a fragrance. As long as it smells good, we're buying it because we can increase the longevity no matter what. Shouldn't nobody in 2025 ever have to question if something has longevity or not. If you love it, get it. L'Oreal just bought Creed and Gucci license for fragrances. It will now create and market for those brands. I know. Who knows the implications of that? Will quality improve or not improve? Will stuff get reformulated or will it not? Will stuff get cheaper? Will stuff get more expensive? Will they hire new perfumers? Will they not give a rat's left testicle and just let the company burn? We shall see, right? Thoughts on Profondo? Great fragrance. Joel, what's the difference between that and Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille? SB, scent of the day, Paragon. Paragon Initio. Oh, the plum scent. Yeah, Paragon's nice. Homage Royal Tobacco, Russell Black Licorice, Evening Brother. What's the most slept on Banana Republic scent? By the way, guys, did y'all see that I got this? I only picked this up because the only 2 reviews I'm missing on my channel is Midnight Hour and Oud Mosaic. I don't know why. I never got to those scents. But I found that, you know, when the holidays come around is when you should be shopping discovery sets, because the discovery sets will be discounted and you'll see the more exclusive discovery sets that you don't normally see. I've never seen this in my life. Have y'all seen this? This has Black Platinum, Vintage Green, Midnight Hour, Cypress Cedar, Oud Mosaic, Grassland, Metal Rain, and Linen Vetiver. Talk about how many, and by the way, yo, we might not even answer questions anymore. 25 people in here and 5 likes. And I tell y'all, if you want the D riders filtered out of here, hit the 3 dots right here or right here and hit that like button so it only puts fragrance people in here and not trolls. Run the likes up, man. This disproportionateness, I'm going to sign off. I'm telling y'all right now. If y'all don't want me here, just let me know. And right now, that's speaking highly. But anyways, talk about how convenient and nice this is. You know, I used to tell people, man, they really need a replica discovery set to just let everybody smell the whole line. And during the holidays, they came out with it, and we're giving that away in the giveaway. Somebody will get a full set from replica sample set. This is also going in the giveaway. I just bought this to borrow a couple sprays out of here of Midnight Hour and Oud Mosaic, which are hard to find sometimes. Midnight Hour is easy, but Oud Mosaic's harder to find. After I do those 2 reviews, this thing's getting sealed up and going in the giveaway as well. So now we have 3 discovery sets that are a part of the giveaway. Mason Margiela replica discovery set, this discovery set, and then the day 3 discovery set. And that is just like 1/10 of the prizes that's coming in the giveaway. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean, have y'all ever seen a discovery set that big for Banana Republic? What's the most slept on Banana Republic scent? Probably the ones people don't have access to. I like a lot, man. Vintage Green 78, Grassland, Metal Rain, Midnight Hour, Leather Reserve. Shoot, the Neroli's good. The Vetiver's good. The Cypress Cedar is basically Terre de Hermes. I mean, they're all banging. There's only a few of them I don't care for. It's really hard to go wrong. 90 Pure Whites, banging. The amazing scents with no performance. That's how to classify Banana Republic. But they all smell really nice. Thoughts on Oud Vanille? Not the biggest fan. Need that discovery set. Absolutely. What do you think about layering? My scent of the day is 60% Percival and 40% Bleu de Chanel. How did you measure 60 and 40? That's my question. Just remember, when you're layering fragrance, never layer fragrance on top of each other. You break down the chemical composition of both formulas and you mess up the smell. If you're going to layer, imagine I'm layering on my chest right now, right? Instead of going 1, 2, and messing up both formulas at the same time, it's better to go 1, 1. Spray them both next to each other, not on top of each other. But I'm a big fan of layering. Layering's fun. In fact, if you watch my community posts on my scent of the days, which I post every day, you'll see I layer like half the time. Let's see. Is it true Midnight Hour is the same creator as Mind Games Blockade? Can't be. Can't be. Smelled stronger with you, intense. I'm not a big fan. You recommend anything sweet like that but better? I mean, it depends, Myers. Why did you not like it? And that'll help me determine where you want to go. What's a good change up frag? You know, something to disrupt the routine. I don't know what your routine is, so I don't know what would be disruptive. Give me some more information. He did 6 sprays Percival and 4 sprays Bleu de Chanel. That's a weird mix. I'm gonna be real with you. 60%, 6 sprays and 4, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird mix to me, you know, super sweet and then blue shower gel. You know, I don't know. I was told by a scent person the best part of the body is the back of the neck. I've never heard anyone say that a certain part of the body is better than another other than the pulse points. So if you're talking, okay, if this is a pulse point and this is a pulse point, there's nothing more projective about either of those pulse points. If you sprayed right here in the middle of your hand where there's not a pulse point, it might be less projective. But if we're only talking pulse points, 1, 2, collar, the collar where it, or the traps where it traps scent, back of the neck, you know, back of the knee, back of the ankle, those are all pulse points. So all the pulse points, there's no priority or hierarchy of pulse points. It's just, are you in the pulse points or you're not? So I would never spray the back of my neck and be like, yo, my fragrance is gonna smell way better than if I was gonna spray my elbow. That's not a thing. and honestly, spraying fragrance on your body is an art form, because some fragrances you want to create a scent bubble, and then some fragrances you want to create a waft, like an atmosphere. So like, let's say I'm talking to your girl, right? I might want to hit my pulse points around my arms more, because as I'm talking to her and I'm doing stuff like this, I'm creating my waft. I'm just ringing off at her. Bam at the neck, bam at the chest, you know what I mean? So when I come close and I start talking like this, when I'm moving my hands, I'm brushing my fragrance all over in the atmosphere. Whereas if I don't want to do that, now maybe I'm in my office. If I'm in my office, I'm not really spraying anywhere on my arms, because as I wave, I'm waving fragrance, and I don't want to be waving fragrance. So I'm gonna make a scent bubble in the office. So I'm hitting pulse points more in the sword and shield area, because I'm not really, this is all that can waft the fragrance, and you're at a desk, so you're not really doing that. So it depends on what you're trying to do with your fragrance. Now, if you're going out to an event or something, you need to hit all the pulse points, because whether you're sitting down, standing up, moving, playing basketball, you want your fragrance ringing off skin. Now, some fragrances will ring off skin for you, but in terms of how you apply it and set it up, the biggest question you need to ask yourself is, am I trying to create a scent bubble, not a sillage trail? And you can not hit certain pulse points for the sake of keeping just a bubble, and then you could hit certain pulse points for the sake of being able to wave fragrance around and have people catch wafts. Okay, let's catch up. Interesting combo. Lalique white or black, and is the, wait, hold on. Lalique white or black, and is the white like Lacoste white? The white fragrance is a soapy, linen-y, green, peppery, citric, tart, masculine, everyday wear. It'll feel something like Mont Blanc Legend Spirit White, but way more natural and authentic. Lalique Black, which is really called White and Black, but I know what you mean. You mean black bottle. That smells like Leighton. Scent of the day, 4 sprays of Ani with 2 sprays of Grand Soir. So you are a big bowl of vanilla ice cream with extra vanilla. Hey, but does that sound like an interesting combo? Oh, okay. Mix Off Non-Supremacy limited edition in Dior Homme EDT, and it's great and lasts forever. Supremacy limited edition. So pineapple, Hasavati, Dior Homme. That's heavy, man. That's heavy. Let me know if you got compliments with that. White is like PDM Galloway, but more citric and lighter. Galloway kind of has this sweet gum feel to it. What's something that sub $20 is manly? I mean, how much of a man are you? Give me your age. You talking to my girl? I might be. You need to ask her. That's between you and her. I don't want to get between your guys' business. Is maceration for Middle Eastern clone fragrances real or just a ploy to negate buyer's remorse? All fragrance needs to macerate. All fragrance. And all fragrance is typically, I mean, from the moment the formula gets made, it is macerating. Some companies will let a fragrance, put a fragrance in the maximal environment to macerate, and they will let it sit before they sell it. So they are pre-macerating it for you. But all fragrances macerate. I don't even know why people talk about maceration and all that nonsense. It's marketing. But maceration is a process that has to take place with all fragrances. It's just some fragrances benefit a lot more from maceration, and some fragrances are so well made and have certain aroma chemicals in them where the maceration doesn't change the scent profile, even though they still need maceration. What's the best winter cheapie? Lalique White and Black, 25 bucks, Amazon. Stronger With You smelled generic to me, too sweet. I like sweet, but not that sweet. Anything better in that arena, not Lamal Elixir. Yeah, right here. Right here, bro. If you're needing nuts, if you need that profile with nuts, you need tobacco in it. Tobacco and cognac. You get the cinnamon. You don't get the nutty praline, so the sweetness is scaled way down, like 20% less of Stronger With You EDT. This is Grown and Sexy right here, but it's got a freshness that feels like any man who at least owns an apartment and a car. Yeah, I think this is Stronger With You for grown folk, but the sweetness is scaled way down. But it does have that sweetness. It's really nice. The sweetness in that fragrance comes from lavender, cinnamon, and the sweetness from an alcoholic cognac accord. Whereas the sweetness in Stronger With You comes from vanilla. Cremo, Spice, and Black Vanilla. Your opinion on Violet Un Air. I've never heard of that. Who makes that, Russell? Bro, I had people saying they could smell me from miles away. I was at an auction outside, but everybody loved it. Maybe, see, if you're outside, that's different. You can get away with a lot when you're outside. But yeah, don't do a combo like that indoors. You know, or even a school campus or something. You're gonna get stuffed in a locker. Outside, you can get away with so much more. I mean, if you want to experiment with nuclear fragrance combos, go outside. So, smart move. Gris Charnel versus Arabiat Prestige Al Noir. Are they one of one? No. If you want 1-to-1, you have to get Lattafa Liam Gray if you want Gris Charnel. The other ones are close, but to me, Liam Gray is like 10 out of 10. Something like Herba Gold, but cheaper and a tad bit more unisex, wearable for men. What is like Herba Gold, but cheaper? Bonnie. Because I think Herba Gold will run you like $200-300 at the lowest, if I'm correct. Bonnie is 170. And then if you want to go, if you're just being a sleazeball and you got to just go dumb low, then Vulcan Fouet. Get Vulcan Fouet and call it a day. Vulcan Fouet you can get for like 40 to 60. I think that might be my next cop, bro. I know you say I'm too young for Ombre Noir, but I don't like overly sweet either. I mean, here's the good news, bro. If you get it and it feels too grown, the reason why it's nice is because it's a grown man scent with a ton of freshness. So that's why I feel like young guys who want to just look older can pull it off, because the problem is when you have a grown folk scent, and by grown, I do not mean old. I just mean a man wears this. 2025, a man wears this. But the reason I think a younger, ambitious guy who just wants to feel, has an old soul or older swag, reason I think they could pull it off is because it had, to me, what allows younger guys to pull off older man's scents is freshness. If you have a scent like tobacco and cognac, right? You got to look like a man, but the added lavender and bergamot and papyrus puts this crazy fresh brush on it, and the cinnamon, the tiniest bit of cinnamon. We're not talking teriyaki intense. We're talking like 1/50th of teriyaki intense. Almost you can't even feel it. But there's this fresh brush that just makes a dense, thick profile like this light and airy, almost like angel sherry, but not, it doesn't smell like angel share. I'm just saying if you spray angel share on, it has this kind of apple juice light airiness while still being pungent. The freshness to this is why I think young people can pull this off, but you do still have to look the part. But if you can pull it off, I'm telling you, this is a showstopper. Like, this is on par in terms of, like, I would wear this against somebody who's wearing like a tuxedo or a baby cat or a Stronger With You or a Gentleman Reserve Privé or a Dior Homme. I would wear this to cut through all that and just be different. Again, it's like, take everything you love about Halloween Man Shot and Lamal Elixir and all those like kind of tobacco vanille style scents, but make them way more dial the sweetness way down and ramp up everything behind them. And that's where you get Ombre Noir. It wears light, but it's powerful and it's super unique. Super unique. I know you said don't layer directly on top of another fragrance, but do you think spraying something like Kate Alfredson, I'm not even going to finish I'm not even going to finish reading that because it's like I told you to go clean your room. I was like, don't go outside. And you're like, yeah, but if I go outside, no, don't go outside. I told you, do not put a fragrance on top of another fragrance. You mess up the composition. I am not hypothesizing about that. That is perfumer talk. A perfumer will tell you, never put two formulas on top of each other. It's the same reason they tell you not to go like this unless you're dealing with the oil. If you do this, you completely disrupt the formula and you will not smell how the formula is meant to smell. It will have a twang. It will have funk. It will not be the original formula. If I took this fragrance right here and I sprayed my wrist and then I sprayed my elbow, but I rubbed my elbow like a freaking cello and I put my nose to this, it will not smell like my wrist anymore. And it's the same concept with layering. If you put two fragrances on top of each other, they are compounds. They're bonding on a molecular level. And when you put two different compounds on top of each other from two different fragrances, those compounds break and undo, and you change the fragrance negatively. So you now won't smell as good as either of the two fragrances by themselves. So it is way better to put the fragrance right next to each other. You can put them as close as you want. Don't mix them. And let them go out, and once they project off the body, then they can mingle. And now they're mingling while still maintaining their structure. If they're on top of each other, they're just broken apart, and the smells will not be the same. There is no, if I spray on top, do you think? It is always a bad idea. Now, let me dispel the only thought you could possibly have in your mind. And by the way, guys, I'm kicking game here. Hit the likes. 3 dots here or 3 dots here, and then hit that like button. Drive the likes up, and, stop playing around. But here's the only question you could possibly have. I'm not talking till those likes go up. Let's just put it that way. I better come back and they better be up. They're not up, I'm signing off. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of y'all support me, man, but hey, we gotta do better. Okay, there we go. The only question in your mind that you could possibly have after I just gave that rant, and by the way, thank you guys, is, yeah, but when I do it, it smells good. I'm not debating you on whether or not you can get your fragrances to smell good when you put them on top of each other. What I'm saying is they don't smell as good as they can because you are breaking down what it's supposed to smell like. So yeah, to the untrained nose, it's like, yeah, well, vanilla broken down is still vanilla and sweet and yummy. It doesn't matter, bro. What? And listen, if you don't believe me, spray a fragrance right here and then right here, right next to each other. And then just start going like this and wafting in your own face. And watch how much better that smells than the arm that you put the fragrances on top of each other. I'm telling you, spray two fragrances next to each other and give them a decent little gap, you know, like a hand-sized gap. Let it sit for like a minute and then put two fragrances on top of each other right here for a minute and waft one in your face and then waft the other. I guarantee you this will be better. Asking because I didn't want to break the bank for Gris Charnel. Liam Gray is $20 on Amazon. It'll get you Gris Charnel 1-to-1. What was the last fragrance you said you had in your hand? I don't remember. Scent of the day, Azzaro Forever Wanted and Azzaro The Most Wanted. Great blend. You know, sometimes I like to blend Sauvage EDT with Sauvage EDP. Never. Like the notes of both in that combo, anything like that, but lighter, like I could wear outside. I like that notes of both in that combo, anything like that, but lighter. That was a crazy sentence, Mask. Do you think Liam Gray is better than Gris Charnel? Hell no. Hell no. Was Daniel's son ever better than Mr. Miyagi? Was he? Come on, y'all. Do you have any full bottles of Javois? No, but I will. See, here's my issue. I'm done with Javois now, right? And I had an amazing time with Javois. But it's crazy because I made a power ranking of my favorite Javois out of the set. And I liked half of them. I would have bought at least 4 or 5 bottles of the Discovery set, right? But then, like, I smelled them all and then I went to LA and smelled them all. And then I came home and smelled them all. And then I waited like 2-3 months and then I smelled them again. And it's like I changed. Like my power ranking, I started going back like, okay, you know, I'm going to get Psychedelic and Remember Me and Fire at Will and all this stuff, right? And then when I went back to like smell them again, even though I smelled them a million times, I was like wearing them, my mind completely changed. I started gravitating towards other stuff that I originally had lower in the list. And so I'm like, okay, hold on. So I didn't want to buy the bottles yet of the Javois because I'm like conflicted in my soul as to what to get because there's so many good options and my nose and preference is changing. I'm starting to like certain things and qualities about other fragrances. So I'm just giving it some time. I could just blind buy right now L'Art de la Guerre, Psychedelic, Remember Me, Fire at Will, Ombre Premier, Pavillon Rouge. There's a lot I could just buy and I would be happy with them. But right now, I'm only going to acquire like 1 bottle every couple of months from Javois because, you know, I mean, look at my collection. I'm not like in a desperate need to buy a whole set from a house. But in terms of finding out what I want in the near future, I'm still smelling them and enjoying them. I have plenty of juice left. By the way, let me show you a recent purchase that I got from Rome, or not Rome. Yeah, no, in Rome, in Italy. I'll be right back. All right, so check this out, guys. Check this out. I know none of y'all seen this. Check this out. Y'all know this house? This is a Rome exclusive right here. Look that up on Fragrantica. Matter of fact, let me spray this. Bum, dum, bum, 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 for real. There's levels to quality, boys. There's levels to freaking quality when you actually spend coin. There's levels to this. There is levels. I'll catch up in chat, guys. Just give me a quick second. Let's see. Sup just started. What do you think about Dior Homme Sport? Sport is nice. Performance is weak, but it's nice. Ultramall I don't like. I'm too old for Ultramall. I might get both for 70. Dior has like Dior I would buy, and Ultramall I would just, you know, if you're a young guy, get 9 p.m. If you're older, you know, get something like a Cod Lodge Island. I wouldn't buy a single bottle of Ultramall for 70 in 2025. Wait, are you saying layering is bad? No, I'm saying spraying fragrances on top of each other is bad. You should be spraying them side by side when you combo. What was that one Dior Homme cologne that you were... Gary's Den. If you look in my community post section, I have the listing. Anytime I show my scent of the days every day, guys, I'll put a screenshot of the Fragrantica listing, and it has a QR code. Oh, so if you take your phone out to the computer and just scan the QR code on the picture I post, it'll show you the Fragrantica listing and where you can buy them and the score and all that stuff. I don't know if none of y'all know that, but you can literally hold your phone up to the whatever computer you're viewing my community posts, and it'll take you straight to Fragrantica. Y'all got to listen to the SB when he talking. How do we spray our body in the winter? The same way. You know, if your fragrances are beastly, you can just spray the fragrance and not get all nerdy with it. But if there's certain situations in cold weather and in hot weather where your fragrance is weak and you have to utilize oils or lotions and hygiene to build up a composition of perfume that can withhold the elements. So during the heat, if you're competing with heat, you typically don't want rounded scents. You want sharp scents because they're gonna cut through. They're gonna cut through that heat, cut through that sogginess in the air. You know, in the cold, you know, a fragrance can like soak up like a sponge. So you might have to layer as well. But again, there's certain perfume formulas where you don't have to worry about any of that because they can just withstand. It all depends on what kind of raw materials are in them and stuff. But to me, there's no real general rule of thumb because everybody's spring is not the same spring. You know, we barely even had fall. We're like just getting into fall now. The weather's starting to kind of die down. And my fall is weather that's in the 80s and 90s. So, you know, that's not people's fall. You know, people's fall consists of jackets and raincoats. You know what I'm saying? Do you think gray vetiver and absolute aphrodisiac would be a good combo? No, I don't. Mixing green and vanilla. You can mix green with vanilla, but proportions are really important, and both of those fragrances are too loud. But I mean, I would encourage you guys to do anything. I mean, here's the thing. You're on a fragrance journey. I want you guys, despite what SB says, like, just take all my information, even if you trust what I say, like, bend the rules. It's one thing. It's like, it's fun to experiment after you've been informed. You know, it's like your parents say, don't cross that bridge, and then they tell you why. It's like, because there's 3 bears over there, a lion over there, ants on the ground, and then at least you know when you decide to go cross that bridge because you're a daredevil, you're informed. You're like, okay, now that I know I'm breaking the rules and I'm taking the risk, let's be aware of those bears. Let's be aware of that lion. That's what it is with SB. Like, take all the information I have and know I'm a very informative, educational person, but go break your own rules and have your own adventure now that you're informed. Don't go out and do that stuff being uninformed. That's just stupidity. I like Terre de Hermes, but the orange notes are a kind of a turnoff. Any suggestions for that DNA without the orange? Yeah, gray vetiver, because gray vetiver essentially is Terre de Hermes without orange. It just has grapefruit. So I would suggest looking into gray vetiver EDP, or something like lunar vetiver from Amarud, or vetiver sensuel. No, because vetiver sensuel has orange, but it's nothing like Terre de Hermes. Yeah, I'm confident with that. You need to go Tom Ford gray vetiver, Amarud's lunar vetiver, or vetiver sensuel from Mancera. Born in Roma Intense does go hard. Bro, please pass the rest of that discovery. I will. I will. I got y'all. I got y'all. Bro, I didn't know you reviewed fragrances. Looking at the fragrance reviews and was like, yo, I know, bro. Blessings. I need to see who you are. Message me, bro. Message me. I feel like I recognize your name. I just can't see the face on my phone. But hey, thanks for the love, bro. Appreciate you coming out. Went to LA. Where about do you live? I live in Arizona. I live in Arizona, but my second home is Cali. What do you think is the best Valentino in terms of performance? I mean, the basic layout to Valentino is that all of the intenses perform a little bit better than the originals. So you should pretty much get intenses of everything. But even the originals go 6 hours, I'm pretty sure. You know, but to me, honestly, I think Valentino is redundant for whack's sake. Meaning, if you have Valentino Uomo Intense, you have every Valentino fragrance. You heard it from SB, man. It's just how I feel. Sorry to speak. I like the notes and scents of both in that combo, but I want something lighter, something that wouldn't run people out of the room and be suited for inside use. Do me a favor, Mask. Copy that and put it in my comment section, because I'm going to do a little bit of digging for you and come back with a couple of options. I don't want to just freestyle some options. I want you to tell me the fragrance profile that you're going after, and then just copy what you just said about wanting that vibe but be lighter, and then I'll get you a couple of options based off looking at my collection and Fragrantica and bouncing between what I've actually put my nose on. I'd be happy to help you with that. Is layering the same as putting essential oil on clothes? Everything's a layer. There's all kind of layers. What are some of your recommendations for fall fragrances when it's still hot in the day and cooler in the night? Stuff like this. Boss Bottled the Scent Magnetic goes great for a day and night. It can double. Stuff like Mont Blanc Presence. You know, it cuts through that heat, and it also is sensual at night. Eros will never do you wrong for a day and night fragrance during the fall. Gucci Guilty Elixir will never do you wrong day and night in the fall. Any of the Halloween Man series, I have Halloween Man Shot. You can use the purple, you can use the red, I don't care. A fragrance that honestly is some of the most slept on juice ever for 25 bucks. Lalique White. It smells like Leighton, but fresher. And because of that freshness, it's like a Valentino or a Eros or a Dylan Blue or Spirit, where you can wear it during the day because of the freshness, but it's sweet enough and cozy enough for a night transition and can still hold up in the cold. You know, I could go into some stuff. Like I wore this during the fall. This Serge Lutens I just picked up. This Ombre Sultan. It is I can't even spray it because it's heavy, but it has a freshness to it. Where if you like that manly amber executive feel. I mean, honestly, let me give you guys a secret that I haven't shared with anybody on YouTube yet on my channel. If you've had your nose or your curiosity on psychedelic, which is what anybody in FragCom would tell you is the sexiest chocolate patchouli fragrance on the market, but you can't afford it, go buy this, because you still get the French high-end raw material perfumery from a brand that is just prestigious in Europe. And this smells just like psychedelic, a little less chocolatey, more on the amber. But in terms of that feel, that sexy dark chocolate in the background, that radiant amber patchouli earthiness in the front, and then that expensive French perfumery feel, this is incredible. This is masterful. This honestly is 10 out of 10 juice to me. I'm not going to say that publicly and out loud in terms of video content right now, but this is 10 out of 10. And for the price point, it is criminal. Absolutely criminal that this exists. You should be paying $200 minimum for something like this. And just an incredible alternative to psychedelic. So that's another reason I've been holding off on my psychedelic purchase, is because when you have Ombre Sultan, you really don't need it. Do you have or have you tried Otto Parisi's Megamare? I have tried it. I'm not a fan. I thought Lattafa's Atlas did a terrible job on it, but then I went back to actual Megamare, and I didn't like that either. Yeah, I got 6 bottles from them. Okay, how many sprays do you use? It varies. What is the one great blend that you recommend? This one, do I have it on me or did I give it away? Did I give it away? Okay, so I'm going to give you the OG combos, and you guys can get your hands on them in terms of the clones. But 2 very simple go-tos would be Baccarat Rouge and Aventus combo. They just work. So if that means for you guys going with Club de Nuit Untold with Pre-Show or Collector's Edition or Club de Nuit or any of that, try putting those together. Spray them next to each other, not on top of each other, and don't mix the juices. Baccarat and Aventus, for some reason, go together. Another one is Tom Ford's Oud Wood and BDK's Gris Charnel. Those go incredible. So at the clone level, you can do something like Maison Alhambra's Woody Oud with Lattafa's Liam Gray. That combo right there during the fall has gotten me an insane amount of compliments. I actually, in my ebook clone, in my ebook, I call that combo Turkey Day, because I wore it last during Thanksgiving and got an insane amount of compliments. Tom Ford Oud Wood, BDK Gris Charnel, or Maison Alhambra Woody Oud with Liam Gray from Latafa. Crazy combo. There's two. I don't want to spill the beans on too many because that I have an ebook coming out with top 100 combos. Is there anything else I can shed light on you guys for combos that are like super mass appealing? I don't want to give them away. Could you give me some winter smells? Yeah, some bangers from winter right now. Serge Lutens, Ombre Sultan, Trace Oros, By Killian Straight to Heaven, Absolute Aphrodisiac from By Killian, Black Phantom, Cosmerati Lyra, trying to name stuff I know you guys can actually have access to. Bentley Absolute, Mont Blanc Presence, Bulgari Man in Black, The Boss Bottled Descent Magnetic, Carl Mandel, Le Leones, Boy, Gucci Guilty Elixir, Slow Explosions, Lamal Elixir, Lalique White and Black, Fire Your Desire from Amir. Not going to name my vintage. In terms of clonery, Armaf Black Edition from Odyssey, Zara Man, which is your Black Orchid Fresher, Cayenne Classic, which is your Dior Homme. This fragrance is going crazy right now in the winter. This right here, this is special. This is Paradise Garden, and they did a phenomenal, they did such a good job, they made me actually say I like Paradise Garden. Paradise Garden feels very juvenile to me, but what they did with this juice is nothing short of amazing. Now I see why the kids wear it, man, because you're edible. You've got this green edibleness to you. It's green. It's almost like Paradise Garden is almost like green cotton candy with soda. That's crazy. You know, and that sounds ridiculous, right? But when you think about a fragrance like Instant Crush, you can see why that would be something nice. Or Aaron Terrence Hughes Hard Candy. You know, something like that. Like candy can smell expensive and nice and not smell like you're 15 years old. Paradise Garden has this green cotton candy and it's like drinking a it's like eating green cotton candy and drinking 7-Up. I mean, it's crazy. I don't that's a terrible description, but man, it's like I don't know. You guys will know what I mean. Get your nose on it. That was Arusat's Algarve, and that's from kind of like the new Zamaya house under Armaf, but this is Arusat. If you can get your nose on this, I mean, incredible bottle presentation. Am I zoomed in or something? Yeah, I was wondering what the heck was up with that. But yeah, amazing bottle presentation. I actually won this in an auction, so I'm going to guess just by the smell and the company that it probably might retail you somewhere around the $30 price point. But if you want Paradise Garden, look no further. Great performance too. Minimum 6 hours, probably 8. Recommendations similar to Dior Sauvage. Yes. This right here. Fragrance World's Suave. Parfum version. They sell this in an EDT, a EDP, and a Parfum. Fragrance World Suave Parfum. All you need, bro. All you need. There really is no need. The performance, the freshness, it's accurate as heck, man. It's accurate as heck. I'd give it like a 95%. it smells 100% like Sauvage, EDP, or Parfum, but more importantly, the only part that it differs is in weight. This is, you wouldn't think something could be fresher than Dior Sauvage. This is actually the tiniest bit fresher. There's a tiny bit more backbone to the actual EDP and Parfum, just a little bit. This is just the tiniest bit more airy, but it's still a dense, rich fragrance, and it is Parfum concentration. This is excellent. This is truly excellent. And you could probably get that for like 20 bucks, 25 bucks. What is a close scent to Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather? This one right here. Off Non-Rare Carbon. This is somewhere in the middle between... this is somewhere between ombre leather and Tuscan leather. It's like a hybrid. Y'all know Off Non just made that rare reef. This is rare carbon. This is incredible 10-hour plus juice right here. Again, it's a hybrid between ombre leather and Tuscan leather in my eyes, which is a good thing. And even if you spray this and you don't like it, which I do like it, I would only wear this by itself if I was going to work, because, I work with older clients and stuff. But this is an amazing, soft, fresh leather with a lot of intensity that goes great with layering. You could layer citrus on leather. You could layer fruits on leather. You can layer florals on leather. You can put vanilla on leather. You can put tobacco on leather. You could put alcohols and booze on leather. You can put anything on this fragrance and it will smell great. Could you give me some winter smells? Already did. Scent of the Day Club Black on the left. Liquid Brune on the right. Hey, swing it around, Dave. How do you feel about Dior Homme 2020? I love it. Performance is solid. Amazing. I live in Utah, but I work in the setting of the office and field work, temperature control. What do you think of using fall-winter fragrances on that setup? What do you mean on that setup? I work in office and field work, temperature controlled. What do you think of using fall-winter fragrances on that in that scenario? Yeah. Amen. My contact information is in the description of every video I ever put out. Thoughts on Green Tea by Elizabeth Arden. I mean, it was cool to dig into the past and smell that, but I mean, it's not anything that I'm excited about. But, it was cool to smell. Yo, it's been a while. What up? What up, fitness? I've been saving up. I'm going to get the new Azzaro Elixir. I'm excited. Thoughts on the fragrance? I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a good fragrance. I get tired of telling people like it's a good fragrance. It's not all that, because I feel like it's kind of a. It's like, why do you need to say that? It's like, maybe people want to know, like, would I buy it? And the answer is no. But I'm not like other people, I have too many fragrances. But Azzaro has played this pocket where they can do fresh romantic pretty well, like above average, like an 8 out of 10. And I think that's where their fragrances are fine sitting, is around the 8 out of 10. To me, Wanted by Night and the Most Wanted creep into 9 club, but that's where I'm at with it. But the Elixir is a good fragrance. You need to pick up Assad Elixir. Just came in today. It's amazing. Okay, I'll listen. In your opinion, are there any clone houses that have the same quality as niche houses that they are imitating? Yeah, I mean, French Avenue, Amir Al-Maghribi, Rusala, Armaf, Latafa, Arusat, FOMO. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's not a rule of thumb that like, okay, this house just always kills it. All these clone houses are making so many fragrances, they have to fail. Like they cannot put out consistent bangers for too long because they're making too many freaking fragrances. But every house I just named has fragrances that rival the OGs that they were made after. I'm stretching my knee. Look at this, guys. My knee is on my desk and I'm looking at you guys talking while stretching. So if I look weird, that's why. Behind the scenes, in your opinion, how can you make Bentley Absolute have louder projection? Bentley Absolute is already loud. It's very fresh though, so it goes away easily. With Bentley Absolute, I would do 10 sprays minimum. So for me, it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoot, I might even shower the back a little bit. But if you want to put something under it, you know, here's my thing. You know, this is such a dry, woody fragrance that I think you can get away with doing stuff like this. I'll show you, for example. You know, for a guy encountering this who's like 35 plus, he's like, yeah, I don't mind being woody and smoky. I'm a man, right? But you could still increase the performance of this by changing the DNA a little bit. So here's something I might do. I might say, okay, woody, smoky, let me go with 1 million, right? And I might take my 1 million oil. And so what are we talking here? We're talking vanilla and spices, right? But because it's a roll-on, the projection will be quieter, but the longevity will be longer. So I'm going to roll on in the vicinity of the pulse point a little bit of 1 million. And now when I spray my actual pulse point with this fragrance, I want to see how they interact. And they go crazy. That's actually crazy. That's like 1 million parfum, but more manly. So how do I increase the projection? I would advise getting into a roll-on oil to go with that fragrance, to put some oil base under it. You could even pick up like a shea butter type of base of a lotion, like a simple 4-note ingredient lotion that has that is scented naturally, either by like argan or shea. You know what I'm saying? But to me, these roll-ons are quality, and immediately this scent changes. It gets a little hint of vanilla, but it stays woody and smoky. The spices duff out the vanilla here, so it's mostly you know, the tiniest bit sweet, more spicy, and then that sits under the fragrance. So I might hit, you know, the elbow pulse points and behind the ear pulse points, and then I'll do my normal 10 spray routine, and now the oil is pushing behind the fragrance like crazy. Just one dab of oil and one spray on the pulse point is pushing crazy. So you throw multiple sprays on that, you can increase projection. How does Bleu de Chanel Parfum perform? It's pretty freaking solid. You know, you'll at least get 6 hours off of it. The EDP is the highest performing in my experience personally, so that's what I carry. I don't care about Bleu de Chanel Parfum being a slightly richer, more beautiful scent than EDP, because I'll take the slight scale down for the more performance out of the EDP, because in the air, that quality nuance is virtually void. Smelled Noir de Noir today, but I wasn't a fan of the earthy notes. Anything like it, but without the earthiness. Yeah, Noir Extreme. Noir Extreme. And then if that's too much for you, then you need to go into 1 million Elixir, 1 million Royal, 1 million Parfum, that type of territory. 540 in Greenwich Village works. Okay, I believe it. I really don't think 540 can go bad with anything. Instant Crush in 540 also works. Thanks for the tips. Vanilla and Rose, Instant Crush, Tuscan Leather, Clone, Rasasi, La Yucawam. I just don't like La Yucawam, man. I mean, it's a goat. It's one of the oldest clones. You know, it's a dinosaur in our time for clones. It's something that made people take clones seriously and put clones on the map. But I just think it's a bit dated comparatively to something like Rare Carbon. But it's an amazing fragrance, and it's a GOAT for a reason. What's a fragrance that reminds you of home or the city that you live in? Probably Vetiver Sensuel from Mancera, because it's that fragrance to me is brighter than an Arizona sun. Hey, anytime, Russell, ask away. I know it looks like I'm a bot, but it's just because people ask so many questions and I answer everybody question by question thoughtfully. And so I get behind very easily. But everybody who's familiar with this channel knows that. So if you're new to the channel, I drop videos every single day on fragrance. We go live, we do Q&A, we do entertainment, interviews. This is where you want to be. Still looking for that scent for a 20-year-old getting married. Recommendations: didn't like Chanel Coral Mandel EDP. I can see that. You're 20 years old. You're a kid. Congratulations, by the way, on your wedding. If you want something, I imagine a 20-year-old kid wants to smell classy and very fresh. Or you're biting off more than you can chew and you want to smell sweet. So if you want to smell sweet and masculine for your wedding and you're only 20 years old and we're not buying like super crazy niche fragrances, I would go, if in the niche category, I would go with something like Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. If you need something cheaper, go Lamal Elixir, and that'll handle your vanilla freshness, spicy category. If you're trying to go classy, fresh along the lines of Gucci Guilty Elixir, Eros, that type of vibe, you know, Bleu de Chanel, Armani Code, that type of thing, but you want to go more niche, I would recommend something like Desert Rain from Day 3. I would recommend Aventus Cologne, I think, is like a staple wedding scent. You can never go wrong with Aventus Cologne. Not Creed Aventus, not Aventus Absolute. Aventus Cologne is like staple wedding material that's timeless. I would go with Oud Wood from Tom Ford, you know, stuff like that, where you're going to get a step up in niche quality. And if you need to go down from stuff like that, then I would go, you know, Gucci Guilty Elixir, Armani Code, Absolute, you know, keep it simple, stupid kind of approach. Let's see. Best YSL tuxedo dupe is Arabiat Nael Oud, and I'll actually have that coming in next week. I'll be able to show it to you guys on camera. Lalique Lion as an office fragrance or Lalique White. Lalique Lion is perfect for the office, but you will feel much older. It has a slightly vintage feel to it. So my recommendation is if you're above the age of 35, then I would go Lalique Lion. If you're under 35, I would go with Lalique White because it's going to feel more like a Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, but better aroma chemicals and smells a lot more natural and a little bit more mature. But it's going to have that kind of 2025 freshness where it smells like it was made in today's time. Lalique Lion has a little bit of a vintage fougere feel. It's still timeless, but there's an age to it. Any mango vetiver fragrance? Not that I've seen yet. Yo, I just started out with fragrance and I have a Zaro Tomorrow Parfum and also Eros EDT. I was looking for a sort of daily use one because they're a little more sweet. Yes, get Gucci Guilty Elixir. Get Gucci Guilty Elixir, the green bottle. Sauvage EDT versus YSL Y EDP. They're both great. Sauvage gets more compliments, but Y gets a lot of compliments too. They're almost virtually equal. Born in Roma Intense 2. Any reason why you aren't into tobacco and vanilla combo? Because most people's tobacco vanillas are very synthetic. They smell very cheap. This is a tobacco vanilla cognac and I wear it. This is a vanilla vetiver fragrance and I wear it quite frequently. This is a tobacco vanilla as well. I do wear tobacco vanillas. This is a vanilla cognac. You know, I do wear them, but I'm very picky because if I detect at all that the vanilla smells too much like candy or that the other elements feel cheap and sharp, I don't like them. And I've always felt that tobacco vanille has one of the worst openings in human history. I wear Lamal Elixir. That's a tobacco vanilla. Love it. Smells natural. You know, I'm just picky. I think tobacco vanille is one of the worst fragrances ever made. The dry down is appropriate and good, but I don't want to wait to the dry down. I need that opening to be crispy. I saw Club de Nuit Man, not the intense. Is it any good? No. Do you think Stronger With You Amber is better than Intensely? No, I don't. I feel like Grand Soir is a basic DNA. Well, of course it is. It's just vanilla, but it's upscale niche vanilla, and women want to eat you when you wear it. What makes it special compared to another vanilla fragrance? Well, I think the ultimate entry-level vanilla is Nichane Ani because it's sparkly, it's timeless, it's ageless, and and the perfumer who made Ani specializes in vanilla. So that fragrance has the dimension and complexity that Grand Soir doesn't. But what Grand Soir has that no other vanilla has is butter. It is a vanilla butter accord. And so that vanilla is the most cozy, the most snuggly. The women want to eat it off of you. They want to pour it in a glass and drink it. You don't wear Grand Soir because of what you think about it. You wear Grand Soir because women have it in their top 5 for sexiest men's scents of all time across the board. And that's that. Thoughts on Vanilla Diorama? It's pretty solid. I like it. Have you tried the Perfumer Parlor House? Nope. What is the tobacco cognac? That is this. Ombre Noir from La Lique. Just take a screenshot with your phone. This is incredible juice. Oh. It's always sold out anytime it comes out. You have to turn your notifications on Joma Shop or Fragrance Buy because anytime they restock, it sells out within 3 to 5 days. So just make sure your notifications are on so you can snatch it up. You can get it for about 40 bucks. Incredible juice. Nothing in your collection will smell like it. Did I get to the bottom? I did. Straight to Heaven versus Lamal Elixir as a date night. Straight to Heaven murders Lamal Elixir, and I love Lamal Elixir. But respectfully, Straight to Heaven is just on another level. Couple levels up. You know, it's like, if you're wearing Lamal Elixir and I'm wearing Straight to Heaven, you have no chance. And I mean, you can tell, right? Because Lamal Elixir essentially is tobacco, vanilla, and lavender. And Straight to Heaven is dark chocolate, patchouli, dried fruits, and rum, and leather. There's just more sexy elements to it. I feel like Ani is the best universally and witty vanilla. I wouldn't argue against that, you know. Like I said, the perfumer who made Ani specializes in vanilla. She has made like hundreds of very, 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 very popular vanilla scents, both unisex, masculine, feminine. She's just a master, you know. So there's a reason why that fragrance outsells just about every vanilla, and why it doesn't matter if you're a 70-year-old man or a 20-year-old kid. You've heard of Ani, you want Ani, or you have it. Any last minute questions, guys? I'm going to take a piss real quick and come back. We'll wrap up the last minute questions and head out for the night. Make sure if you're new to the channel, you subscribe. I will be right back. Your boy has got to piss. All right, let's turn these off. All right. How heavy is the brown sugar in Tres Oros? It's extremely heavy the first time you spray it. The first time you spray it, you will only smell brown sugar and honey. But every time from the second wear forward, you will smell orange, you will smell pineapple, you will smell plantain, you will smell cinnamon. But I'm telling you, for how heavy it is just a monstrous compliment getter. And even though all those notes are heavy, people love to smell them. It still has a softness on the nose, even though it's so syrupy and heavy. It is a massive compliment getter. And I would never normally wear a fragrance like this, but man, people eat it up, dude. And it lasts forever. 2-3 sprays will last all day. So even though it's a 50 ml, it will last longer than 100 ml. Have you tried any Dua fragrances? Yes, many of them. Dua is so hit or miss. Oh, so we just gonna skip me? I never saw your question. So if you're new here, which it seems like you are, if I don't answer your question by the end of the stream, you can always put your question in the comment section and you'll be answered within 12 hours. But you can also copy paste your question and understand that people are asking questions like crazy and I might have missed your question. Any new vintage pickups? Yes, tons. I mean, this is my vintage collection at this point. Well, so here's my vintage shelf. And then down here is like a lot of sealed vintage. Amouage's Lineage is a cold-hearted unisex sleeper. Okay, I'll check that out. Rediscovered Sedley last week, looking for the perfect citrus. Do you have a suggestion? I mean, man, when it comes to citrus, there's just so many freaking options. Best citrus vetiver is Vetiver Sensuel. You can get a lot of citrus out of Desert Rain from day 3. Oceania is like a champagne citrus. Roja's Herod is an incredible freaking an incredible citrus basket on steroids. In the designer category, I don't play with citrus as crazy, but Lin Sumi and Lin Sumima Force is crazy good too. Surprise Alex rocks Tres Oros in Arizona heat. I do at night. I don't ever wear it during the day. But this time of year, you could super get away with it. But it's such a good fragrance, I don't care where I'm at. As long as it's nighttime, I'm going to wear it. Don't care. And I've never not gotten a compliment wearing it. Oh yeah, Novitus has a mean sleeper banana fragrance, but I forget the name. I haven't worn a banana fragrance from Novitus yet. I've worn like 3 Novitus fragrances. But the winter makes it a perfect nighttime fragrance. There you go. What's your take on YSL Wild Parfum? It's great. Give it like an 8 out of 10. Favorite imaginary authors frag. I like the Canary one. I like Slow Explosions is my favorite right now. I like Memoirs of a Trespasser. I like the Glacier one. I like the Fern one. But yeah, my favorite is Slow Explosions. Anything 100%, anything 10% Aqua Media Forte. I don't understand that question. Ask that question in a different way. Anything 10% Aqua Media Forte. I don't know what you mean. Any Saudi Middle Eastern fragrances in your collection? Yeah, a lot of my clones are, you know, Zara, Latafa, you know, Armaf, Ard Al Zafran, Amir Al Maghribi, you know, a lot of that stuff. Got any good beginner hot weather fragrance recommendations too? Thanks for the help, by the way. Yeah, this is great. Michael Malol Zest and Vetiver, great for hot weather. Mont Blanc Presence, Vetiver Sensuel, Blue de Chanel, Aqua de Gio Profondo, Gucci Guilty Elixir, Ferragamo Bright Leather, Ferragamo Red Leather. There's just a lot of good ones. Because you said it's impossible to clone it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The reason you can't clone it is because it has matcha green tea and fennel. I don't think you can play with synthetics and get an authentic fennel and green matcha accord. I just don't. Without it smelling super fake. So yeah, I've yet to see a clone of it in general, but I don't think anybody could clone it if they wanted to. Do you ever get a headache wearing certain fragrances? Yeah, Lattafa Atlas gives me a serious headache. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off for the night. Hey, listen, I hope your guys' start to your weekend is incredible. I am working on my Aventus anthology episode right now where we take the top 20 most worn and purchased Aventus clones and I will power rank them on a tier list and tell you the only Aventus fragrances worth getting from the best to the worst. It includes all of your favorite fragrances: Al Harmain, Armaf, Afnan, Dua, Alexandria, Yaman Lail, Mont Blanc, Dumont. There's just so many. So I'm excited to do my power ranking video and drop that next week. I really think it's going to be one of my most viewed videos on my channel by a long shot. And I'm working really hard to make this whole Aventus conversation go away. So it'll be really dope. If you guys have any questions that I didn't answer, as always, I apologize. Put them in the comment section. I will read your comments and answer them. I never leave a question unanswered in the comments section. But love you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend and stay blessed. I'll talk to you soon.